Welcome back to Joe Stunner Boxing. Caroline Dubois moves to 6-0 with 5 TKOs or knockouts. She beats Feriche Mashaury of Tanzania. Feriche came in with, I think it was a 10 wins. Was it 10 wins and 7 defeats? She had 3 KOs in her victories, and she'd been stopped twice by Terri, Harper and Chantelle. And she was actually on a 3-fight losing streak. It's now 4, of course. She's down to 10-8. And she just offered nothing. She just offered nothing against Caroline. Caroline was just too physically imposing, physically strong. She fired huge thumping punches. I mean, there was nothing that we haven't seen from Caroline before. She's clearly got certain attributes, like her physical strength. She's very, very busy, appears to have a good engine. But I would like to see a bit more technique, a bit more variety. I mean, she does go to the body sometimes. Mostly it's headshots, though. She tends to walk in the front door, and although a lot has been made about her power, it's not that sharpshooting one punch power. It's more like I say, it's more of a sack of cement than a hit with a baseball bat. You know what I mean? And there wasn't one punch that got rid of Mashaury. In the third round, it was just more. It was, from the word go, it was just Caroline walking forward in a straight line. Mashaury couldn't keep her off. Was bending a lot of the waist, moving the head. I don't want to sound too down on Caroline, because the problem with these very good female fighters, or the ones that have a great deal of potential, is that because there's a very shallow gene pool in the women's game. You've got a few at the top who are really good, and then you've got plenty at the bottom who they might have a level of toughness, but they can't really take your rounds because the skill level isn't really there. And Mashaury finished on her feet, but like I say, Terri, Harper and Chantelle stopped doing 2. So I don't know, with Caroline, I think I like her. I want her to do well. She seems like a really nice girl when she's interviewed afterwards. But I do want to see a bit more variety. And if they're going to have to find girls who can take her, longer distances, and really test her and really ask questions of her, mess her around. Caroline's only 22, so she's got plenty of time. And what is she? Lightweight. So we're talking Katie Taylor territory, and Caroline tends to fight a few pounds above lightweight, could probably make it. Maybe light welter, Chantelle Cameron sort of area. I don't know. You might as well put her in for belts now, and give her more experience. 22 years of age, get her up to 10-0, 12-0, and then go into then talk about world level. I've got no problem with. If there is a weight division, like kind of with the men's, you've got like the British level, the flyweights and the bantams, there aren't that many, higher level pros. So they tend to fight each other a lot, and they lose, and you get a guy, with a 10-6 record fighting for a British title. I've got no problem with that, because I'd rather see the top men or women fighting each other. And even if they're picking up losses, it don't really bother me. I don't care about unbeaten records. So if they do put Caroline in with someone big, and she is sort of quote unquote exposed, found out, that might be a good thing. That's how you learn. But at the moment, beating up the likes of Mashaury, okay, doesn't really. She's not really learning anything. The learning is probably going to go on in the gym, and I'm sure it does. She's got Shane McGuigan in her corner. He's a very good trainer. But it's interesting. She's kind of a little bit like her brother. Her brother's got. He's such an imposing guy, but it's all physical strength and thudding power. And I just want to see a bit more variety. I want to see a few more tools in the box from Caroline. So put her in for titles, maybe sooner rather than later. And if she loses, she loses, and that's fine. You learn from your mistakes, So yeah, what do you think of Caroline? Where do you think she's going? Do you think she's a star for the future? It's good that in Britain we've got a lot of good female fighters, but they need to find relevant opponents, and that's the problem. That's the problem. So leave your comments below. Let me know what you think. As always, thanks for listening in. Like the video if you liked it, and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Appreciate it. Yeah, looking forward to reading your comments. Take care then.